What's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Raise the Podcast. This is your host, Cristopher Zamora. Welcome to the show. So today, guys, I would like to speak to you about the movie called Obsession. And I gotta say, this movie, the hype is real. The hype is actually real for this movie. It is that good. Yep, I gotta say. It is that good of a movie. I'm going to go in spoilers for this film, so guys, do me a favor. Go watch this film right now and then come back to this podcast because this is a film that you can't really talk about unless you spoil the movie. So, yeah, it's one of those films, okay? But I promise you, you're going to love this movie if you are a horror fan or just looking for a scary good time. This is a film that you will definitely will enjoy, and I enjoyed my time watching this film. So it was on a Thursday. I was just finished with going to the gym. I was really bored and didn't have nothing else to do. And so I noticed that they still were showing the film Obsession in AMC. And so I thought to myself, hey, why not go see this film alone? So I did. I went to go see it, and yeah, it's a good one. It definitely is a good one. This film is about a man named Bear, and supposedly he made a wish on a thing called a one-wish willow. He wished for the girl that he liked, Nikki Freeman, to love him more than anything in the whole wide world. And he got his wish. He got his wish. He broke the willow, and just like that, Nikki, she fell in love with Bear, just like that. And just like the actress herself, Indy Navarrete, her acting, her performance, it was really good. It was actually a pretty good performance of her. She acted very scary at times, and yeah, most of the horror, it comes from her, and she did a one hell of a job, man. And Bear, the actor, don't I know his name. Let me just check real quick because he deserves his performance as well. He did a good job as well. What's his name? So the actor who played as Bear, his name is Michael Johnson. Yeah, Michael Johnson, and you guys already know the director, Kerry Barker. Yeah, Michael Johnson did a good job, and so did Indy Navarrete. I wasn't expecting the film to be that crazy. It was a pretty good movie. Like, I heard lots of good things about this film, and it's just not only the acting and the story, but also how Curry Barker directed this film. Like, the cinematography is actually pretty good. There were some choices that he made that made the character of Nikki Freeman look even more sinister. Like, for example, there's a couple of scenes. The very first scene, like when I told you, when Bear, he broke the willow, and then just out of nowhere he looked at his right and he saw Nikki's shadow. Like, you're not able to see her face at all, just only her body and her shadow. Just darkness, full of darkness. She was just standing there in the middle of the patio, you know. And there was also another scene as well when he opened his door, and she was just right there, just standing, talking to him. The only thing you're able to see is just her eyes, her glowing eyes, just a tad bit, you know. And most of her face was just covered in shadow, just a little bit. But yeah, that was pretty cool. That was a nice touch of using lighting to make the scene Even the character of Nikki look even more scarier than she is. And yeah, the character of Nikki is not really her. It probably might be maybe like a demon or something that was controlling her, but the thing is, she had no control over herself. Maybe it was like some demon or something that was just forcing her to be with Bear, and as for Bear, he was a bit scared, but most of the time, like, he couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe that Nikki, out of all the girls that he had a crush on, this girl really liked me, he thought. But no, 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 no. She was just possessed, and she was so obsessed with him to the point where he just had enough. He had a crush on Nikki Freeman, but the person that was controlling Nikki wasn't her. Like, it wasn't real love. It wasn't a person that really did like Bear. It was just a wish that he made. And like most of the film is just like this. Like, she was just doing strange things. Like, in the middle of the night, she was just standing on the corner and just looking at him sleep. Man, what a crazy scene, and also like the part where she just stood there just smiling, waiting for him to come back home. And also like the scene when Bear, he saw that the door was all taped up, he tried to get out so he can go to work. I was like, oh no, it's so scary. She's like very obsessed with this dude. And yeah, it's crazy. He got his wish like he wanted. But yeah, this was a very good film. Most of the time, I actually had a good time watching this film. The beginning of the story, it was that Bear's cat died, and so this one night, all four friends, they all went out just to celebrate his cat, because he died, and maybe they just wanted to comfort him, just some friend stuff they wanted to do. And actually, Bear actually went to go drop off Nikki to her house, and that was when he did the wish with the wishing willow. He broke it, and just like that, Nikki became obsessed with Bear. She didn't want to leave him at all. Like, when they were in the bed as well, like, she had her hand over him, and he was just like trying to push her hand away just like that slowly so he can get up, or he was trying to move, and then she just yelled out of nowhere like, no, like, don't move. Oh man. Yeah, this was a blast. This was a good film, and to be honest, now that I'm thinking about it, I was a bit tired. I was a bit tired on that Thursday, because I did went to the gym, and yeah, I went hardcore on that day. Now looking back at it and like talking about it with y'all, this film was pretty good. I was gonna give it an 8 out of 10, but now that I'm talking about it, I think it deserves the actual 9 out of 10. It is a good movie. Yeah, it is a good film, and not trying to compare it to the Backrooms, but it is a tad bit better, in my opinion. In my opinion, it is a tad bit better than Backrooms, but both films actually do work. Backrooms isn't really much in your face. It's like a psychological film that wants you to think about what you just saw. And Obsession, it's just right on your face, and like, you're so surprised of what's happening right then and there. Both of them are psychological films that actually did work. First, Obsession came out, and then 2 weeks later, Backrooms came out. Pretty good films in their own right, to be honest. I just gotta give it to Obsession for just a tad bit. The storyline is simple. It is a simple story, but like the execution for this film and like the cinematography, the characters, that's what makes this film work. And Curry Barker making this film, he did a one hell of a job, man. He is definitely a good film director. I would like to talk about as well the character of Bear, what he was trying to do at the ending. At the ending of the film, it seemed like Bear, he just had enough. He really just didn't want to deal with Nikki anymore because she was just out of control. And like there's this other part where she killed one of her friends in the car, and I was like, what in the world? She just kept on hitting her on the damn wheel, on the damn car wheel. Oh my god. It was like just insane. And then Nikki forced Bear to actually help her get rid of the body. He tried to actually get her to stop because he tried to call the phone number on the back of the One Wish Willow box, but it turns out that he wasn't able to do anything with it. Like the wish that he wanted, he had to live with it. The only way that he could have got rid of the wish that he wanted for Nikki was that if he died. That was just the only way out for everything to go away as well. Nikki would have been turned to normal if he died. And so the thing is, at the ending of the film, like probably on the last 5 minutes, he took some pills, like a lot of pills. Those pills were the same pills that his cat took right at the beginning. And he did took a lot of them, and right then and there, he was just thinking, maybe I should just let it go so she can be safe, or maybe he's just thinking about himself, that he just did not want to do anything with Nikki as well. It could go both ways. It definitely could go both ways. Maybe he just wanted to end Nikki's suffering, or just he was just looking out for himself because he just did not want to do anything with her anymore. And like 10 seconds later passed by, like he was already in the restroom just thinking about what he wanted to do, and he took all those pills. Then right at the moment before Nikki actually made the wish for him to be so obsessed as much as she is with him, he was about to throw up all those pills out, but then he lost control himself. Now he was obsessed just like how Nikki was wished. Yeah, because Nikki actually wished this as well. She wished for Bear to be obsessed just as she is with him. And for maybe a good minute, both of them, they were alive. But then the next minute, Bear was gone. Because he took all those pills. He was gone. Wished Nikki was still like grieving, like she was crying. But then she snapped back to reality. The real Nikki just came back, and like she was just so scared. She was just so frightened out of everything that had happened to her. And like during the movie, there was like some times where like the real Nikki actually came back to life. There were like just some instances, like for example, when Bear was going to go see his other friend at the car, she spoke to Bear for some time and she told them, "Please kill me." That was the real Nikki actually talking. "She's asleep," she said. It doesn't really explain what was controlling Nikki. Maybe it could have been a demon, maybe not. But yeah, that was just such a crazy film. And another part I wanted to speak to you about, like that almost got me. Like there was a one part that really almost got me. When Bear was talking on the phone with the people who were in charge of the Wish Willow, like on the back of the box, that phone number that he was talking to, I thought like she was gonna pop up like out of nowhere. Like I thought I saw something like actually moving on the background, like how they framed that shot. You were able to see just a little bit of Bear's house. Nikki was inside it, and right there it was Bear sitting inside his car talking to the people on the phone. I thought like I saw that Nikki was just like slowly coming to him or something like that, but no, it was just my imagination. Yeah, I feel like that was a good scene. Yeah, I feel like that's a good scene, and like how they actually framed the shot. Like I mentioned to you, there was a couple of good shots in this film, and just like the story overall, the actors, the execution in the story. Yeah, it was a good film. I probably might give it another watch. Like I said, I do give this film a 9 out of 10. It was actually that good of a film, to be honest. And yeah, guys, that is it for this podcast. Hey, thank you so much for listening. If you guys did enjoy this podcast, make sure to follow it on whichever platform you are listening to it. If you are listening to it on Spotify, YouTube, Pandora, make sure to follow it. And also recommend this podcast to a friend or a neighbor that actually likes listening to stuff about horror stuff. Maybe they will enjoy this podcast as much as you do. And yeah, guys, that is it. Take care and live to the fullest. Bye.